friends, welcome back to Kids Stories and More for another, actually, I don't know what to call this. It's kind of an art project mixed with a health lesson. Have you ever wondered this would be great for teachers. Have the nurse come in and talk about, how to keep us safe from germs, which is always important. And of course, you could do this at home with your child. It's always important to make sure that they understand the proper way to keep germs from spreading and to get germs from others. So what we're going to do today is, have you ever heard the phrase, that poem that says, "When you cough, when you sneeze, cover your mouth if you please"? That was a big saying in my classroom. And then we kind of took it to, asked a question like, how many of you think that, a lot of people get earaches, let's say, when they're sick? And then, so you're hypothesizing, you're guessing how many. Is it a lot of people? Is it less people? And then we actually do an activity to see how many people do get earaches when they get sick, how many don't. And then you can graph it. It could become a math lesson. All kinds of things go into this. So what we're going to do is we're going to make, as you know, when you cough or sneeze, you should always cover that sneeze. And how do you cover it? Do you cover it with your hand? We learned about that because what's going to happen next time you grab a pencil or a doorknob, you're going to spread those germs to others. So the best way is to cover it with the crook of your elbow, okay? That way it's preventing it from blowing out to everybody else and your hands stay clean, right? And of course, if you need to blow your nose, you use a tissue, right? So we're going to make someone covering their nose and mouth with a tissue, or their nose with a tissue. So what we're going to do is, here I took a plate, actually it was a little bit bigger, a paper plate, and I just cut trimmed around the edges to make it a little bit smaller, because, also I wanted to, because the plate curved around and I wanted it more flat. So this is going to be our head. And then I'm going to basically just take it and draw just a little nose, wee, and a mouth, wee. Now, if you know me, I love to do some Q&A sessions when I do my, my arts and crafts. So this just very simple, easy to draw. You could use markers, you can use crayons, whatever works best for you and your class or your child. So the first question you're going to ask yourself is, what do you do when you're sick? What do you do when you're sick? Well, do you stay awake? Are you wide awake? If so, your eyes are going to be wide open that you're going to make on here. Actually, before we do, I should have colored this because nobody's that pale. I mean, So I'm going to color this just a flesh color while we're talking. And then if you take naps, you're going to kind of make the eyes half closed, okay? Kind of droopy, like that. If you sleep all day, if you're one of those, well then you're going to have your eyes totally closed, okay? So remember, if you're one of those when you're sick, you're wide awake, eyes bug-eyed, wide open. If you take naps, droopy eyes. If you sleep all day, closed eyes. I hope you're drawing along with me. And you can use any art supplies. If you don't have a paper plate, what you can do is just use construction paper. Whatever you have at home is fine. I hope none of you have gotten sick this winter. Now's the time to be talking about this because let's be honest, this is when the flu's going around, that RSV, the stomach bugs, all of that. It's like the worst time of year as far as sickness goes. So we really want to make sure that we are protecting ourselves against all these germs. Now I'm going to keep my mouth free. When I say that, I'm not going to color the mouth. I'm just going to color the rest of it. Now, if you've used construction paper, you already have the color of your skin. So I didn't have any skin really colored construction paper. The closest I have is pink, which I'm going to use for the hands. So comment down below if you have gotten sick this winter. I hope not. I hope all my friends are healthy and happy. I hope you all had a wonderful New Year and that you spent it with friends and family having fun times. Notice I put down a plastic tablecloth because I want to protect my table. I really did not want to make a mess because we're going to be gluing and coloring with markers, and you always want to protect the space that you're drawing on. You don't just draw right on the table because chances are you're going to go off the paper with your marker or you're going to dribble some glue and then it's going to be hard to get off. And, you know, you spend a lot of money on, you know, furniture, you don't want to ruin it. If you don't have a tablecloth, you can use construction paper to put under you, or parchment paper, wax paper, anything you have, newspaper laying around, an old magazine, something that you don't care if it gets messed up. Also, make sure you're not wearing your fanciest clothes, or put on a smock. Make sure those shirt sleeves are pushed up, right? Helpful tips when you're doing any kind of arts and crafts. Okay, sorry that took so long. So I think I got it mostly colored. So there I am, so it doesn't look so pale, and it'll pop if you're putting it on a bulletin board or just hanging up on the fridge or whatever you're doing with it. So, like I said, what do you do when you're sick? Well, I don't stay awake, but I don't necessarily sleep the whole day away. I'm a napper, okay? I don't nap normally, but when I'm not feeling well, I take those naps here and there. So I'm gonna make my eyes look droopy. That's what I'm gonna do with mine. So I have my little oval eyes, and I'm going to make them look droopy. So half shut. Now yours might be different from mine. That's the great thing about this activity is everybody's is going to be a little different because everybody gets sick a little bit differently. See, got my eyes. Now I'm going to glue them on. And I'll show you, of course, the finalized product. So a little dab will do you. Of course, the glue bottle. Actually, I'm going to move you around here so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, so I'm giving you the bird's eye view so you can see it a little better. Otherwise, really, what are you looking at? Just the top of my head, I think. So we're going to, remember, a little dab will do you. You don't need to go crazy with the glue. These aren't big pieces that we're putting on. Okay. 1 and 2. Yeah, there we go. Now, what do you like to drink when you're sick? Now, that's different for every person. Now, some people like to drink juice when they're sick. Others like to drink ginger ale or soda. Some like hot chocolate, and others like something else. So maybe water or something. So if you like to drink juice when you're not feeling well, you're going to color your mouth pink. If you like to drink ginger ale or some kind of soda to make your tummy feel better, well then you're going to color your mouth red. If you prefer hot chocolate, you'll color your mouth tan. And if it's something else, you'll color it orange. Now me personally, I drink tea. I know tea settles my stomach. And also if I have a sore throat, it makes it feel better. So I'm going to color mine orange. You color yours according to the color you need to color it. All right. I'm coloring it in orange because like I said, I drink tea. What color did you color yours? Everyone's is going to be a little bit different. I'm trying my hardest to stay in the line. I hope you are too. That means you have to color a little bit slower. The slower you are, the more intentional you are, and the less chance of you going out of the lines. I'm going to need to turn this. Sometimes you need to turn the paper, and that makes it easier as well. Okay, how am I looking? Now, my next question is, do you get earaches when you're sick? If you said yes, you're going to make big, large ears. Think Dumbo. Not quite that big, but big. If you don't get earaches when you're sick, you're going to have small ears. Now, I don't get earaches when I'm sick. I know some people are prone to them. I am not. So I'm going to put little tiny ears. I'm going to put it behind here. That's why I put a little tab there. So I'm going to put just a drop of glue. So I have my small little ears. Next question. Have you been sick during this school year so far? Well, if you have, okay, so I should have said that before. I used foam, but you can use construction paper. I cut a long strip of paper. It's about, well, I guess 4 inches wide by, I don't know, maybe 16 inches. And this is going to be your arms. So it's going to go like this. Now, if you've been sick this school year, your right arm is going to be folded toward your face. Now, remember, this is mirror image, so the right arm would be, okay, it would be folded towards the face. If you have not been sick this school year, your left arm will be folded toward the face. Now, first we need to put a hand on the end of that thing. Okay, so I'm going to put my hands on. Right, I don't know if you could see that. I glued it on. And I'm going to put another arm here. Now, I have not been sick during this school year. I've been lucky. But if you have, you know which hand to do. Okay, so if you've been sick during this school year, your right hand is going to be folded towards your face. If not, your left hand. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue myself on here. And what happens to your nose when you have a cold? So before I can bend this in, I need to know. So I have my hands on. What happens to your nose when you have a cold? Well, if your nose gets red and sore, you're going to use a blue tissue. If your nose gets runny or stuffy, you're going to use a white tissue, which is what I'm going to use because mine gets runny or stuffy. Okay, so I'm going to take this. I'm going to put it, actually, maybe what I'll do is I'll just kind of fold it up a bit. And fold it like that, so that way you can still see the mouth, because I'm going to want to see the mouth. We want to see the mouth. We colored it, right? So I'm going to kind of put this like this. So maybe what I'll do is I'll fold it in fourths. Okay, and put it like, oops, like that. And then I'm going to put glue here. And then I'm going to bend in my hand to cover. Okay? So you should be able to see, I want to be able to see the eyes. Maybe I should have pushed them up a little bit more. See, I think next time if I did it, I would definitely push the eyes up a little bit more so you can see it. Here we go. So what I'm going to do, okay. So it looks like I am blowing my nose. See that? Can you see that? Hopefully you can see that. Can't really tell what you can see. There we go. All right. I think I might staple that down. I'm going to have to hold something down on it for a while until it dries. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to add a little hair. I think a little hair would be fun. So I'm going to put some glue. Get some curly hair here. I didn't have any brown yarn, so I'm going to use yellow. But you could use whatever color you have. Well, it was between yellow, turquoise blue, white, or multicolored. So I'm going with the yellow because I figure at least that's a normal hair color. Not that there's anything wrong with blue hair. And there you have it. I'm going to just hold this down so it stays. All right, well, I hope you enjoyed this activity. So let's say that together. When you cough, when you sneeze, cover your mouth, if you please. This is how mine came out. It's still drying, but I think you get the idea. How did yours come out? I want to see them. Ah, very nice. Oh, I see some pigtails on that one. Oh, you used your right hand instead of your left. So I can tell. That's a great job. They all came out fantastic. Well, I hope you recreate this with your kids at home or in school or wherever you are, and I hope you discuss the importance of preventing germs from spreading and covering with the crook of your arm versus your hand or just letting it fly into the atmosphere, right? To hit all of our friends. And hope you turned it into a math lesson or just kept with the science hypothesis and then charted it. You know, you could just put it right on the ground, you know, all the people that have earaches, all the people that don't. Okay? So there's lots that you can do with this activity. And please come back each week for more activities with kids' stories and more. We love having you here. Bye-bye.